All right, thank you for joining us. I know that, you have mentioned that we all should actually call you the farmer governor, and that's exactly what we're calling you tonight. But then two major communal conflicts have been experienced in your state, in Rafi and in Bago, and these have claimed hundreds of lives within weeks. What do you believe is driving these recurrent clashes?
Okay, first and foremost, it's unfortunate that this is happening at this time where the federal government, the security agencies, and the state government have tried their best to curtail the activities of the extremist groups. Now that peace has returned to this community, and people who were rabbits and people who migrated out of the places on returning home found out that their lands have been sold by a group of persons. And between the farmers and the herders, clashes erupted, where a lot of lives were lost, properties were burnt, and so many other issues. So we've been trying to get to the root causes. We understand this as one of the causes. Secondly, reprisal attacks, where some communities felt when they were, now that there is peace, they return and they want to have a vendetta. And this has been going on in both local communities.
All right. And now, Governor, you have personally visited Kagara, you've visited Bago, and you're now Contagra to engage with stakeholders. What concrete commitment have you secured from the communities, and are you confident that the violence has been contained?
Yeah, so far so good since we started the leverage system. What we have done first is to stop the leasing of land by the institutions to any group of farmers who are visitors, especially people who are ravaged by insecurity from Katsina, Jigawa, Kano, and the northwestern Nigeria. I've found it easy to rent a piece of land here in Niger State, and the traditional institutions are also been found wanting, in leasing some of these or selling these lands to them. These lands actually belong to people who probably are Fulani or the Kamukus or the Kambari or the locals who ran for their lives when we had serious insurgency attack by the bandits and the Lakurawa in Niger. On returning home, they found that now the ones farming and so to stop that as a government, we have called on the communities. All government reserves are now done to do that. We have deployed to help these farmers.
All right, and we know that many residents have actually accused some traditional and political leaders of fueling the crisis being experienced. What is your finding?
Yeah, the finding is very, very clear. It's not political. Some of these things are just who have been sacked out of their homes, five return to their communities, and their whole home does not see them anymore. So these are the issues. So it's not political. It's just about land grabbing, mostly of it. And the second other issue is the issue of ethnic cleansing. People who are now persecuted because you are a Fulani man, and Fulanis are mostly the bandits. So people don't want to live in this community. This has caused also as part of some of this crisis. For example, in the Borgu Emirate, we have found invasions where the locals from the Borgu, the people from the Aguara, and also the Kamba from that area who have existed and been married among the Fulani, now having suspicion of living together with the Fulani to say, okay, we've done with the office of the NSA and the federal government is to create new reserve areas where have been gazetted government reserve and provide that for the Fulani to settle while this community engagement for understanding is built. However, beyond just politicians have been warned, to keep away from this crisis because vigilance is on. Some of people who are involved in social media, exaggerating situations which never happen. This is fueling crisis. You'll find out that if a place that is amicably living together, coexisting, somebody would just go and post a photo from Rwanda, a genocide of some years ago, the Darfur crisis, and now say it's happening live. Some of these things have instigated fear and also have brought doubt into the minds of people. You can imagine after visiting a community that was pumped out, immediately left there with the security agencies, not up to 5 kilometers, this broke out, and we had to go back. Going back, there was nothing. People were just trying to live their lives and resettle themselves. So these are the issues that are happening.
All right, so misinformation and disinformation are also playing critical roles in fueling this crisis. But do we have a humanitarian crisis on our hands? And what are you doing as the Chief Security Officer of the state? Have you called for help from the federal government?
Yes, we are working together with the federal government, but we don't have any humanitarian crisis because what we've done, the state emergency response team have moved in. We provide shelter for these people. We provided food items and clothing where they've lost their livelihood. And also the embassy system have been activated to do the necessary expecting NEMA and other agencies of government to come in. UNICEF also been here because of the probably sanitation issues and also maintain from rotting animals, also burnt. So some of these things have become really environmental crisis, and although the state has been able to contain it, but it's not too late for other government agencies to can also.
Governor Gov Bago of Niger State, thank you so much for your time on TVC News at 10.